From a crazy heist to an official investigation, this is the Platypus crypto exploit that you need to know about. If you don't know, Platypus is a decentralized finance stablecoin swapping protocol on Avalanche. And on February 17th, Platypus fell victim to a flash loan attack. This resulted in a loss of almost $8.5 million. The attack was made possible by a flaw in the USP solvency check mechanism that tricked the protocol's smart contract into thinking that USP was fully back. This would eventually lead to the movement of funds from the platform, and this attack caused Platypus's stablecoin USP to lose its peg to the US dollar, dropping to 0.33 cents. Although it briefly recovered to 0.97 cents, it has since dipped back down to 0.48 cents. Platypus stated that only 35% of its users' deposits were covered by other holdings. Auditing company Omnissiah conducted a post-mortem analysis and found that the attack was made possible by an incorrectly placed code after being audited. Now that's clever, isn't it? The vulnerability appears to be in verifying the master Platypus v4 contract using the emergency withdraw function. This allowed the attacker to use a flash loan to exploit a logic error in the USP solvency check mechanism in the contract holding the collateral. I know it's a terrible thing, but I have to say, this hacker sure did his homework. Anyway, this also points to an important factor. The incident highlights the risks associated with DeFi protocols, as well as the importance of conducting thorough audits to identify and fix potential vulnerabilities. This should serve as an example for other DeFi companies. Anyway, after suffering a flash loan attack that drained almost $8.5 million, what is Platypus doing now for the losses? DeFi firm Platypus announced on February 18, 2023, that it was working on a compensation plan for its users' losses. The protocol asked users not to realize their losses in the protocol, as it would make managing the issue more challenging. Asset liquidations have been paused while Platypus works on its compensation plan. The firm stated that various parties, including legal enforcement officials, are involved in the funds' recovery process. Part of the stolen funds is currently locked up in the Aave protocol, and Platypus is exploring a potential method for recovering the funds. However, the recovery would require the approval of a recovery proposal in Aave's governance forum. Further details about the next steps for Platypus's recovery plan will be disclosed soon. This is crazy. It must be so difficult for the company right now, as well as all the people who had invested in it. But in times of hardship, the community often gathers together. That's exactly what happened now too. After the attack, members of the crypto community joined forces to recover the stolen funds. ZachXBT, a scam researcher, tracked down the attacker's wallet address by reviewing their own chain history across multiple chains. Platypus, with the help of BlockSec, updated its pool contract to counter-exploit $2.4 million in USDC from the hacker. They tricked the exploit contract into thinking it had received a flash loan and deposited the USDC as collateral for the minting of USP, making it owe 0 USDC back. The USDC from the fake pool was then sent to hard-coded addresses to avoid generalized frontrunners, making recovery easier. Thinking the way a hacker does. That's smart. The team is also working with Binance, Tether, and Circle to freeze the hackers' funds and prevent further losses. They're also reaching out to law enforcement and will provide further updates once confirmed. While the recovery of the other assets may be more challenging, the team has significant control due to their management and the pool code. The exploit drained $8.5 million in stablecoins. This included USDC, USDT, DAI, and Binance USD from the protocol's main pool in 3 consecutive attacks. Ouch. That must have been terrible, but at least they're working through it. The protocol recovered $2.4 million with the help of a blockchain security firm, and Tether froze $1.5 million of stolen USDT. However, $287,000 worth of assets were stolen in the third attack, which the protocol considered lost and unrecoverable, one after the other. Of course, there had to be some irreversible loss. Platypus worked with Binance to confirm the identity identity of the exploiter, who used a Binance account that had gone through KYC checks for a withdrawal request. The protocol has filed a complaint in France and contacted law enforcement. In a blog post, Platypus announced that it would repay a minimum of 63% of user funds. That's fantastic considering their loss. The company also said that it might use its $1.4 million treasury to compensate victims if more assets can't be recovered over the next 6 months. Now that's the kind of initiative companies should take. Users first. The protocol plans to restart the stablecoin swap protocol without its debugged stablecoin USP next week. The Platypus hack is another example of the persistent problem of hacking in the crypto industry, with hackers stealing $3.8 billion in crypto assets primarily from DeFi platforms last year, as per reports by blockchain security firm Chainalysis. But the Platypus theft is being thoroughly investigated, and it seems that the investigation isn't going anywhere. There have been multiple leads and some arrests as well. In fact, 2 suspects allegedly responsible for an attack on decentralized finance, DeFi protocol Platypus were detained on February 24th. Yeah, the French police confirmed that individuals were summoned to court and 210,000 euros worth of cryptocurrencies were seized. The police seized stablecoins USDC, USDT, and BUSD, as well as Platypus USD-backed stablecoin SP worth around $220,000. Platypus is an automated market maker on the Avalanche blockchain that focuses on stablecoins. It currently has $39.2 million in total value locked, TVL, down from a high of $1.2 billion in March 2022, according to DeFi Llama. The attack on Platypus used a flash loan, a tool initially developed for arbitrage opportunities. The attacker exploited a logic error within USP's smart contracts, using borrowed crypto from Aave to supply liquidity to a trading pool on Platypus. They then borrowed USP stablecoins against their LP positions, withdrawing everything to have to repay the flash loan. Platypus has thanked Binance and ZachXBT for their help in tracing the attacker's identity. The protocol announced its intentions to repay at least 63% of the funds to users after managing to recover a portion of the $9 million drained from the protocol last week. French police haven't disclosed the identity of the suspects or the charges they face. It all seems like bad news on top of bad news, but it's not all bad. The good news is that they have created a compensation portal for their users. The portal allows users to check how much the platform owes them after the hack. Platypus Finance's team has been working hard to develop a compensation plan for users who lost their funds. They confirmed that they would return around 78% of the main pool funds by reminting frozen stablecoins. The team also confirmed 2 other incidents that led to an additional $667,000 exploited, bringing the total losses to around $9.1 million. The compensation portal has different sections that help users understand how much they are owed after the exploit. Users can check their pre-attack net value and post-attack adjustments to get a better understanding of their compensation. The team has also given users until March 3rd to submit any errors they find within the calculations with supporting evidence. After receiving feedback from users, the team will finalize the calculations and begin to offer compensation to users in March. That was all for the crazy Platypus crypto exploit that everyone needs to know about.